All right, welcome to episode 2 of the Baseball Club tonight. I'm here with Jesse and Joey for this evening. How are you, people?
Hello, guys. What's up?
And Josh is not here for this one again, but we're still trying to figure out each other's schedules, so please be patient with us. Uh, we were just talking about one of the worst trades in MLB history before we hit the record button, so please, Joey, recap that.
So, one of the worst trades in OB history was in 1981. After the 1981 season, Ozzie Smith was traded by the Padres, and he was just in his early 20s at this point. He retired at 41 with the team. He ended up eventually getting traded to. He played on multiple World Series teams with them. He went.
Yeah,
He ended up winning multiple pennants, 13 Gold Gloves, more than a few of them, and the trade was it wasn't a one for one, but it was during the winter meetings. It was a player to be named later, Steve Mura and Ozzie Smith to the Cardinals. It was December of 1981 for Sixto Lescano and Gary Templeton. The trade would be completed by the Cardinals sending Luis De Leon to the Padres, and then on the same on February 19th, that is, to complete that trade, and then um the Padres sent out Olmstead. Gary
mm,
Templeton would go on to only play. He would go on to play from 1982 until 1991. Halfway through that season, he'd get traded to the Mets in 91. But his value after the fact, because he was a two-win player with the Cardinals in his last season, which was the strikes shortened season of 1981. He was worth a grand total of 9 WAR. That's it. Over 10 years, he was only worth 9 WAR for the
yeah,
Padres and the Mets.
yeah. Speaking of the Mets, they have completed their losing streak of 12 games.
And the amazing part of
12.
it is, David,
Yes.
the amazing part of it is some of us weren't born the last time the Mets lost that many games in a row. Me and Jesse were, I was 9 when they lost that many. Jesse was probably in his early 20s.
Hmm.
David wasn't born when the Mets lost that many in a row, and that was the '04 team for the
I was
Mets.
I was born October 2003. So,
October in 2004. So the
okay,
streak happened just before you were born.
after 2003. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So what next for the Mets? They have tied the Phillies for the dubious honor of basement dwellers, while the Braves have just been streaking and now are, if they won
Yeah.
tonight, they're 17-9. They're their first 26 games.
Yeah.
So the
And
big question is, David, to you
mhm,
two. Sorry, I didn't mean to take over, but
it's
the,
fine.
the big one is, where do the Mets go from here? Because I don't know if you guys remember, but I think it was Gary Cohen a couple years ago where he was talking about how the stadium was empty. They were 0-5 and they had hit rock bottom.
Yeah.
They're 8-16. They're 8 games out under 500. They're currently 9 games back, tied with the Phillies for the worst record in baseball.
Mhm.
And Soto just came back today from
But
his injury.
then, but then,
Now they have another injury going. They cannot
but,
catch a
but
break when it comes to injuries. The
guys, they're
Mets,
cursed. They're cursed. They're cursed.
yeah, and they lose. And I had a feeling this would happen eventually because with
Same.
the Mets, it's not one thing, it's another. Francisco Lindor left tonight's game and is now hurt.
Yeah.
So they lose Soto, who was their best hitter because of a hamstring injury in San Francisco and he misses 2 weeks, and you saw what happened without him. What does Lindor mean to the Mets if he's out for a significant amount of time?
Yeah.
Because Bichette's going to have to play shortstop now.
I have a lot to say about that, but I'm gonna let Jesse go first.
Go ahead, Jesse.
Well, the Astros are on 10
We're,
to
ta- we're, ta-
16.
we're talking
Oh,
about the
sorry,
Mets.
Mets.
We're talking
Well,
about
the Mets. The Mets are just the Mets. The injury bug happens to every team. I mean, look what happened to the Spurs last night. Wimby fell and hit his chin.
God,
And went into the shadow realm. So, you know, you're seeing like it's like no one can stay healthy for periods of time, especially pitchers. I mean, look at certain bullpens that are getting decimated by the injury bug this year.
I think the biggest thing now is with Lindor out, Beatty's going to have to play third base. So, what happened?
I can hear you.
Okay. But the big thing is now the Mets have been playing with fire for the last 3 seasons, I feel. This is not just now, but, and I was reminding myself of this so I could say it now. No McNeil. He's with the Sacramento A's, not the Oakland A's, but the Sacramento A's. Simeon is now a Met, but they traded Brandon Nimmo, who was an outfielder for them, and that's another big loss. No Edwin Diaz. He's in Los Angeles now with the Dodgers.
He's also hurt.
But and then Alonso's no longer there. He's in Baltimore playing first base and DHing. Their culture has changed. And the one constant being Francisco Lindor. I think being without Lindor is not a bad thing because he seems to be the, what you would call it, the magnet for negativity.
The shadow elephant in the room.
He's been more of an albatross, to be honest with you. That's the way I think about it. He's been making poor decisions. Yes, he went 2 for 2 with an RBI today, but that's just one thing. Your team is 8-16, and this guy's supposed to be your leader in the clubhouse and everything else. And he's had multiple isolated incidents with his teammates. I think he might be the problem. To be honest with you.
Can you explain why he hates Soto so much? Because I don't know that part.
I think it's because he's kind of jealous that Soto's younger and better than he is.
Okay.
But it's not just that so much as I look at their team now.
It's like an A-Rod cheater thing.
Yeah. I think that's basically what it is. It's jealousy because new faces, new places. Soto's been traded from the Nationals to the Padres to the he
Yankees.
signed with went to the Yankees, and now he's a Met. 4 teams in his career already. Yep. But Lindor, he's the bonus baby in this situation. He's the older guy. He's supposed to be the leader in the clubhouse. And I'm not even a Mets fan, and I'm saying this. But if you're the guy that's causing so much trouble, maybe you need to learn to step aside a little bit.
Yeah. And another thing I will say, I mean, about the Mets, since Friday the 13th of June 2025, 45-70 since then.
They've done it to themselves. I'll say that much. They've done it to themselves. And here's something else they did that I don't like, and that's stupid. Tommy Pham. I'm sure both of you at least have some knowledge of what Tommy Pham is and who he...
Yeah. Red Sox 2022.
He fights fans. He insults the fans. He doesn't get along with his teammates or anything. Let's bring him into that clubhouse to deal with Francisco Lindor.
I noticed he's on a lot of bad teams other than, what was that? team he was on that was good a few years? I can't remember, but
I just don't understand. Why would they bring? He's been a Cardinal. He's been a Cardinal, a Ray, a Padre, a Red Sox, a Met in 23, a Cardinal. No. Cardinals, Rays, Padres, Reds, Red Sox in 22, Mets for the first time in 23, Arizona in 23,
Arizona.
Chicago White
That's the one I was
Sox
trying to think of.
in 24, back to the Cardinals for a second round. He's been a Royal, a Pirate, and now a Met. He's been on 11 different teams. And he's been in the major leagues 13 years.
I
He
mean,
is
there's
up
that.
there.
There's also that slap incident where he slapped Jock Peterson.
There we go. So that it's not a journeyman thing.
Yeah.
Thank you for adding that, Jesse. Thank you. But
You're
the
welcome.
big thing is, what is wrong with Steve Cohen? Some guy got kicked out the other night at I almost said Chase Stadium because I'm so not used to Citi Field. But a guy got kicked out because he said, "What? I said fire Mendoza," and the security kicked him out of Citi Field.
That was ridiculous.
That's insane.
People at Fenway Park for a hockey game called out John Henry, and they didn't get kicked out for that.
It's just one of those situations where you're bringing in these guys, and I didn't even mention this. Their manager is Carlos Mendoza. He's 8-16. As a manager for the Mets, he's gotten worse. Every season, he's gotten worse. 89 and 73, 83 and 79, 8-16. He's 11 games above 500. He just won his 180th game as a manager of the Mets. He finished in second place and in third place, but he's not done anything to get these fans happy.
I want to say two things quick.
Go.
First, they need a culture change. That's why they need to get rid of the manager. He doesn't have a voice.
They need to find a Greg Popovich. That's what they need.
Hey,
they had, and I don't mean to interrupt either one of you here. They had Buck Showalter.
They had him.
That's what I really don't understand. They had Buck Showalter when they were good.
Yeah. He was the perfect fit. And the second thing I want to say,
David, go ahead.
I know this might rub people the wrong way, but there was something happened on Friday, June 13th last year that might have started a political divide in that clubhouse.
Yeah. And
they did not show the American flag. That's what happened.
Yeah, I don't understand what's going on anymore. They traded away so many of their players. They're 45, make that 46 and 79 since June 13th, like you said, of last year. What could have gone wrong so quickly?
I guess they did not show the American flag for national anthem. I guess that's what happened. But then again, who do I know?
Well,
but also, I don't blame their mayor because he took the mayor took a picture with the mascots the day after they started their losing streak. So I don't blame him. I blame the culture. I blame Lindor. I blame Soto. I blame the manager. All of those people who started that divide. I was watching a live stream, it was a Wake Up Barstool, where Frank the Tank said, I forgot who the players were, he said, but there were two players that got traded because they were MAGA. And that's how
what happens. You can't do that in the locker rooms.
That's how the political, and like I said, ever since June 13th, there was some political divide in that clubhouse. When players hate each other that bad and they don't want to compete anymore, they get injured all the time. That's what happens. They need a new voice that wants to win for that manager scene. They have Buck Showalter, but for some reason, Steve Cohen wanted to fire him for some reason, which I don't get still to this day. And don't get me started if the age was reason. Um, who was the manager for the Phillies before he got let go?
Girardi.
Joe Girardi.
They
Yeah,
need to
Joe Girardi was the
bring him
manager.
in. Bring him in. I don't care. Bring him in.
Girardi's not a bad manager, but if you want to know why they let Showalter go, it's because he went 75 and 87. They've had 3 consecutive winning seasons now. Well, 2 winning seasons in a row since Showalter left. But again, I said this started back in 2023 after they let Buck go. Because you want to know what the stupid part is? You remember that 2022 team where they lost to the Padres
Yes.
in the playoffs. They blame Showalter for that. That
What?
team was stacked in 2022. They won 101 and 61, and then they just collapsed because the team was so bad the next year they needed a scapegoat. That
But
team was so bad they
Weren't they
had
hurt? They were hurt, right?
in
That was the reason?
2023. No, their starting third baseman was the guy they have now in Brett Beatty. He hit 212 that year. His OPS was a 598. They had Daniel Vogelback as their DH, and that was the first time they had Tommy Pham on the team. Vientos, who's on the team now, was worth -1 WAR. He was so bad. They had Gary Sanchez on that team.
Yeah.
That was the year, and this was their pitching staff, may I add, for that year. They had 40-year-old Justin Verlander, 38-year-old Max Scherzer, 36-year-old Carlos Carrasco, and that was just their rotation. Their other 3 guys were Kodai Senga, Tyler McGill, and David Peterson, who's still on the team now, who's still pitching in the rotation. And they had a bunch of starters on that team, but their 2 bullpen guys were Adam Ottavino and David Robertson, who are 37 and 38 apiece.
Speaking of the bullpen currently, Luke Weaver should be the closer. Get rid of Williams and have him as the setup man. Luke Weaver should be their closer.
That's funny because that's the way the Yankees saw it too.
Yeah.
Because I don't understand why they gave Devin Williams that much money. Because he pitched in New York. He pitched in both stadiums now. He pitched at Citi Field. He pitched at Yankee Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
One is a bandbox. The other one has such a deep outfield, it shouldn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, Luke Weaver, when he was a Yankee, for the season, for God knows, he had a 3.22 ERA and he had 12 saves as a Yankee in 3 seasons.
Yeah.
And he bounced around because he was originally a starter. He's now 33 and he's 2-0. But that's just because that's the difference. They've got a lot of guys who are not hitting above 200 or hitting at 200 or below. And their best hitter right now with less than 100 at bats is Luis Robert Jr., who they just. That guy was a 30 home run hitter when he was supposed to be with Chicago with the White Sox. And they go and get him, but they don't have guys that are. The most home runs on the team is by their catcher, Francisco Alvarez. He has the best on-base percentage, and he's only played 21 games, but he's been getting on base. He's got the top 5 in hits. But when the most hits goes to a guy that's hitting 219, give me a break. Their offense is too. This is what their offense is.
Let me ask you this. This is for Chelsea too. What offense is worse, the Mets or the Red Sox?
Oof.
We
The
almost
Mets-
got we almost got shut up by the Yankees twice this series. But
How
so
do I
far,
put this
but
gently there?
today we got 1-1.
So the Mets is a team right now, not counting today's stats, that'll be updated tomorrow. They're hitting 222, 285, 332. Their OPS as a team is 617. They're 24% worse than the league right now with their team. This is not including today's stats. Let me look at Boston for a second, and I'll give you an accurate measurement. Because the Red Sox, I don't know if they won today.
Yeah, Max Fried, 8 strikeouts, I believe, and yeah, we lost 4-1.
So they're 9-15.
Mhm. And we're gonna about
So-
and we're about to get beat by Cam. I was no, I would say this, Cam Leaper.
Well, they have
That guy.
two good hitters right now. And I'm being very nice saying that. It's Wilson Contreras, who's playing first base,
Yep.
and right fielder Wilyer Abreu. And that's
Yep.
not including today's stats either. Contreras is hitting 273. He doesn't have 100 at bats this season yet. But he's got the second most hits on the team. Abreu has 3 home runs and 11 RBIs. Trevor Story has not been living up to expectations either.
He's been bad, horrible. What a disgrace.
He's got 17 RBIs, 33 strikeouts, and a 189 average.
From the games I watched, including at Fenway, he swings with pitches, but like he swings at pitches that he didn't need to swing at all the time. Like he swings all the way upstairs, he swings out below downstairs. Like just make contact for once.
Well, David, I hate to tell you this, but he struck out 176 times last year, and he's well on his way to just as
Yep.
many.
Yeah.
Even the years he wasn't healthy, he struck out a lot, and I mean a lot.
And this is the guy.
2024, he struck out 33 times and 94 at bats, so that's about a third of a time.
Even though the Red Sox made the right decision to get rid of Bogarts, because I hated to see Bogarts get injured all the time, but this is the player you got to replace Bogarts. Come on. I mean, Trevor Story, he's a nice person. I met him a few times. A great person, but this is a player that should not be the leader of this team. I'm sorry.
Well, the big difference is I'm looking at Bogarts' stats right now. He's actually doing way better than Trevor Story is. He's 22 for 83, 3 home runs, 14 RBIs. You don't want to know what his walk and strikeouts are. They're that much better. And I mean it like this, but it's like this. The emphasis is he's walked 9 times and struck out 10 times.
For Bogey?
Yeah. That's it. But when I think about a team that's actually performing worse than their they're performing worse than their record shows, and it's not their fault. It's Houston. Houston is trying their best with what they have because Altuve's showing his age. Alvarez is an outfielder who should be DHing and everything, but Houston, I think, should be leading this division right now, not the A's. Not with the way they've been playing against teams they should be beating or teams they should be contending with. The A's are 13-12. That division is more wide open than somebody throwing a gutter ball pretty much when you had the bumpers up.
Your thoughts, Jesse?
Yeah, the Astros, most of their bullpens, most of their core is in the training room. It's sad,
I've been there.
I think Houston just I think Houston deserves a better shot than what they've been given because I've not, and they won today. By the way, they got a 2-0 shutout of the Guardians, so they're
Mm.
there, even if they are in last place. They're that
Yeah.
close to the Mariners, who won today. If the Mariners lost today, they'd be tied with Houston.
You know,
But for
there's some.
some reason, I don't know what it is, but that division has the weirdest, and I emphasize weirdest. Houston cannot win away from home, and neither can Seattle. Houston
Mm.
is 3-10 away from Minute Maid Park. Seattle is 1-8.
That was like back in 2023 when the Astros couldn't win at home.
Well, that's just it. Home field advantage is significant, but in their case, I was surprised that they're this, and they're only 600, 500. Let's be realistic.
Yeah.
They'll still have a winning season, but they'll be fighting other teams. I
Yeah.
mean, this is just, and I know this gets thrown around a lot, small sample size. They're 26 games into the season. There's no
Uh-huh.
way you can. I mean, if the Mets can turn it around after all this and everything else, the Astros have 2 more
excellent.
wins, but their biggest thing right now has to be their pitching.
Yeah.
They have to. They had to have had better pitching this season thus far, and that's because their Pythagorean record has them as 11-14. I'm sure it'll have them as 12-14 tomorrow. Joe Espada is not a bad manager by any means. But when your best position player by WAR is Yordan Alvarez because he's hit it. And here's the thing about that. Yordan Alvarez is a great player. He can hit home runs. He can walk. But when you've got Cam Smith and Christian Walker as your top 2 contributors, Correa is doing fine. Altuve is doing fine, but they've been banged up. Isaac Paredes is pretty much because they have no outfield right now.
They're more
And Peña's
enjoyable to
hurt
watch
too.
than the Red Sox right now. They're more enjoyable to watch.
But that's the thing. I think Houston will be better closer to the end when they get, well, Peña, he's kind of going to be one of those guys that I think he's going to have to replace Paredes at some point because Paredes is not a good third baseman. He's not. Peña's good. He's better defensively. He's the older guy. He won a Rookie of the Year and everything, but he's just not how you would say he doesn't get on base at the clip you would expect him to. Like he's had more than 100 hits in every season and at least 30 doubles. He's good in that aspect, but he doesn't walk. His hits are why his on base is so high.
By the way, I think we should transition to this question here, going back to the Red Sox. What needs to change for them? I'll start with Joey.
What needs to change in Boston? Because they don't have culture issues. I know that. But they're 9-15. Jarren Duran is struggling mightily.
And
he's only played in 18 games.
Didn't we talk about that issue with the Duran last episode or no?
No.
Yeah.
We've talked about it in the past, but I think Duran's had so many issues. He said the epithet at the fan and everything. Mm-hmm. He's been harassed by fans.
Yeah.
I really just don't get it. He's struggling at the plate. He's struggling with his head. He needs to I think every team should have this. They have to have a team therapist at least employed for these players.
Yeah, like and Alex Cora has been saying that, like, talk to us if you need anything. That's what Cora's been saying as of late. Especially about the Durant situation. And they're there for Durant if they need.
Because I find that hard to believe that there's no therapist for these players. You've got
Yeah,
26 players, you've got all these coaches. Presumably, there's problems on and off the field. You've
yeah,
got to have somebody, at least one,
yeah,
because you can't just go looking up therapists in the yellow pages because there's these, and I hate excuse my language, but the fucking media outlets that constantly are in their faces day in and day out. Why are you struggling? What are you trying to do better?
they should do that like at least once a week. I mean, God, like
Well,
not
they're
like
only
it's
supposed to do the media scrum once a week
yeah,
because the whole thing is Durant's gotten better over the years. He's just having one bad season. You can't just go after these guys.
yeah, because that makes them worse, and it's just like
Well,
I
another
just
thing is, this is the first time that Durant's really struggled since 2023. 2
yeah.
years ago, he was a 9 WAR player. Last year, not as great. But who cares about that?
He was average last year. That's the best way I can say it.
I
But
wouldn't say average, but he still did better at the plate in spite of the fact that his average dropped almost 30 points. He led the league in triples the last 2 years. He's got 27 triples in the last 2 seasons. No, he doesn't have any this year, but still, he's trying his best.
yes,
I
I'm gonna
don't
say
think he's doing this on purpose.
this to the fans. Please stop doing that. It's not gonna make it anything better for you. It's going to make it only worse for him. And he hasn't done anything illegal or anything. He just makes mistakes a bunch of times, and you shouldn't have that ruin his life or just you know for
Well,
his
he hasn't gone after the fans besides that one isolated incident.
Kansas City. Kansas City back in 22 or 23. Or
One
no,
of those. But
yeah,
still, I think Boston will be okay eventually. Hold on.
you're
But
fine.
still,
Um,
there's
why?
plenty of things to go about with Boston, but I think the biggest thing is they need to improve with their catching and everything, their catcher specifically. I know they went and got Narvaez for a very specific reason. They traded for him because they thought he'd be good. He was with the Yankees. He was good last season, but he needs to improve at the plate with his
Yeah,
discipline specifically. Because I don't know how much they traded for a guy named Elmer Rodriguez for him. He's 22. He's barely been he's only an triple A ball, but he's been great. So Narvaez has to hold up his end and he's got to manage the pitching staff. He's got these guys and everything. I'm sorry, but I will say this. Catchers cannot have any more of an advantage than the ABS system, the pitch clock, and being able to have what they have and the
yeah,
pitch calm. They've got 3 separate advantages that they can make their team better with.
yeah,
I'll let Jesse have the floor for
yeah.
right now.
What needs to change with Boston?
Well, it's been a rough start to the 2026 season in Boston. Currently sitting at 9 and 14 at the bottom of the AL East.
Yeah,
The Red Sox are facing some serious identity crisis on both sides of the ball. If they want to turn this around before the summer hits, here is what needs to change. Fix the nuclear infield offense. The bottom of the order is effectively a black hole right now. The team's overall batting average is hovering around 229, 26 in the MLB, but the specific struggles at shortstop and second base are glaring. Trevor Story is struggling significantly, slashing around 188, 202, and 306 with a high strikeout rates and defensive errors piling up. His veteran status isn't outweighing the lack of production. The infield youth. players like Marcelo Mayer,
Meyer.
WRC plus, yeah, Meyer, with the WRC of 58, and Caleb Durbin are struggling to adjust to big league pitching. The change. Manager Alex Cora may need to commit Marcelo Mayer at shortstop permanently and potentially look for an external veteran bat at second base or DH to inject life into the lineup. There are already rumors about a panic trade for someone like Ketel Marte to stabilize the middle order. Stabilization of the rotation injury management. Just as the rotation was finding some rhythm, the injury bug hit hard. Sammy Gray's injury. The team just placed Sonny Gray on the 15-day IL April 21st with a right hamstring strain. Losing your veteran anchor for a few weeks is a massive blow. Brian Bellows consistency. Bello has a 6.75 ERA and is struggling to get through the fifth inning. He has the stuff, but the execution isn't there. The change. With Gray out, the Sox need more from Ranger Suarez and Connolly early. They also can't afford to be patient with underperformers. If Bello doesn't settle in, they may have to look at AAA options like Peyton Toll sooner than planned. Defensive accountability. Boston current,
What player planned?
Peyton Tolley sooner
Yeah,
than
I just got some news about that.
yeah. Boston currently
Um,
has one of the worst team
Peyton-
ERA marks in the American League. It's
Peyton Toling has been recalled from Worcester and is going to make his 2026 season debut tomorrow. So he will be pitching for the Red Sox tomorrow. So,
but the change,
on
the
Thursday-
moving
on
players
Thursday.
into their natural positions, like getting Mayer to his natural spot at shortstop and potentially upgrading the catching tandem, which the front office has remained active on, could help lower the pitching staff's stress levels.
Mm.
I think Boston needs to.
Oh, Joey, while you were gone, I had I have two news. Otani's unbased streak is over, and two, Peyton Tolley has gotten caught up again.
Well, be it a cliche, but I think Connor Wong should be starting more.
I've been hearing people saying that.
Well, he's walking more. He's only gotten 24 bats this season. Still, 9 games.
Yeah.
Half of his hits have been for extra bases. Albeit it's a small sample size, but the guy's not going to be a hitter. He's going to be a defensive first catcher, I feel. Based off his analytics, he was a better defensive catcher than Narvaez, and that's just it.
Yeah.
The better defensively they are, framing and everything, that's the biggest one.
Yeah. Also, another thing I would say about the Red Sox. So I was at Phillip Park. I believe it was last Saturday. No, it was last Monday for Patriots Day.
Yes.
I cannot believe because I never read. With the access I have now with the future the Red Sox have for fans.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really watch warm ups that often, but I cannot believe how hard and how long Aroldis Chapman can throw from the Green Monster all the way to not on the seats, but the track of the seats are. You know what I'm saying? Like I cannot believe
He's been doing that for
times.
years. And think
Right.
about it. That man is 38 years old and he could still throw it that far.
When I was watching him warm up, I'm just like, how is he doing this? How is he throwing that hard from that long of a montage from the Green Monster all the way to the track of where the seats are.
Well, think about it this way, David. He's got such a longevity. He hasn't ever had a really. He hasn't ever really missed a season
Not
at
yet.
all. He's pitched 17 seasons. He's got a winning record and 371 saves. He's going to be the next 400 save pitcher.
Mhm.
It's just that
Have you seen him warm up?
I haven't seen him warm up, but
Oh.
he still has the fastest pitch ever recorded, may I add.
Well,
106.
yes.
He'll never hit that again, but no one will ever hit that again.
If you
The
also
fact that he
check
can
out,
still throw 100 at his age is impressive.
if you also check out his Instagram, oof.
No, he's built like one of those war machines. He's 240 pounds.
Yeah.
He's listed at 235, but he's 240. And he has like a 5% body fat. The dude is built.
Yeah.
He could throw like that forever if he really wanted to. He's the best pitcher out of that bullpen for any
Yes.
team.
Which is crazy because the Pirates, was he on the Royals? I forgot.
Yeah, he was on the
Yeah.
Royals the same year he won the World Series with Texas.
Yes.
The man has 2 rings, people forget.
Yeah.
He won
Cubs-
one with the Cubs and he won one with the Rangers.
And you know what's funny? He broke 2 curses with the team, the Cubs and the Rangers. That is hilarious to think about with him. The Rangers, who had 0 World Series wins up to that point, and the Cubs, who haven't won one since 1908.
Mm-hmm.
And he was on both of those teams, which is crazy. Another thing that is crazy we should get into, Mike Trout. How about that, huh?
I've seen this movie before and don't get too excited. I'm sorry, but Trout, he's had
Yeah.
these years where he started off great, then he gets hurt. I'm sorry, but the optimism is
I'm
there.
not-
But Trout gets hurt.
I'm not getting my hopes up either because, like I said, how about that? But it's like, be careful.
Because he's in his 16th season now.
Mhm.
I think it's 16. Yeah. 16 seasons, 55 triples, 411 home runs, 293 career average, 23 walks, 22 strikeouts. His on base is 409. He's got the most runs scored. But the big thing is games played. He played 130 games last year, and he struck out 178 times. If he can
Yeah.
keep the strikeouts down, he can remain durable, and he can play the outfield, that's different. But
Yeah.
he hasn't won a Gold Glove in his entire career, no matter how great his
What?
defense was.
I did not
Never won a
know.
Gold Glove, no.
Dang.
And I'm looking at his stats, and I'll double check, but no. Overall Defensive Player of the Year by Wilson? Yeah. 3-time MVP, 11-time All-Star, 2-time All-Star Game MVP, 9-time Silver Slugger, Rookie of the Year, Major League Player of the Year, no Gold Gloves.
Rip.
I bet that's something you didn't think you'd hear. Trout's a good defender, but he's never won a Gold Glove.
Aaron Judge has more than him, probably, right?
I don't think I'd be surprised if Judge has a Gold Glove.
I'm surprised if he has one because 2024.
No,
World
he
Series
has
is what?
zero. He has zero.
Yeah.
He's got the same amount of MVPs. He's got a batting title, but he's never won a Gold Glove. And Judge has almost as many
I was
home
think-
runs, but Judge is also 34.
I was thinking he wouldn't have that any Gold Gloves because he's only known for home runs and that ball drop in the World Series is what I remember from him. But I don't remember anything about his defense, other than robbing a home run in 2017 or whatever in the playoffs. That's the only thing I remember about him robbing home runs.
Well, I will say this: he's got a ring. No, he doesn't.
No.
I keep forgetting that he doesn't have a ring because he's playing in New York. But
Yeah,
his meteoric rise reminds me almost of what's his name? Harmon Killebrew, except he has other aspects to his game, but
yeah,
Killebrew ended up with 573 career home runs. Judge is at 377. Do I think he gets to 500 home runs? Easily.
yes.
Do I think he wins a ring? No. I don't think so.
Well,
I think Altuve will finish with more rings than Aaron Judge. And he's already got 2.
Already got 2.
But this is where it's going to get tricky. And I have a feeling Jesse will want to think about this. Who gets a ring before they retire? Trout or Aaron Judge?
Aaron Judge.
Because Trout cannot stay healthy, and he's not going to stay healthy this year. So
no team's going to want that contract either.
No.
And
I think
not even the Dodgers. Not even the Dodgers.
And I think that's one of the worst. I have to say this about the Angels. They are one of the. It's not that they're a bad team. They just cannot sign players that stay healthy or will be good for them.
Yeah.
C.J. Wilson, Josh Hamilton, Albert Pujols, Mike Trout. That's 4.
You know who they are?
That's 5.
You know who they are? They're the New York Mets of the American League.
That is not a bad assessment either. Because the Mets couldn't get Correa either. Because people forget, Correa was going to be on the Mets that year. Then he was going to be a Giant, and then he became a Twin. That was that whole story of that offseason was Correa was supposed to get $300 million that year. And now he's back in Houston. 3 years later, he's back in Houston.
It's like that never happened.
Like I said, baseball is an amazing sport where you don't expect something to happen and it does. But
the only thing people give credit to Correa for was getting the Twins back in the postseason. Well,
and actually helping them win a game.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
They had the longest postseason drought ever.
And
they lost like 20 games in a row in the playoffs.
And that's why I say that contract with Minnesota for Correa was successful because he made the team win a playoff game. That's the only.
David, I think I just found the biggest Mets thing that the Mets could ever do.
Right now?
I just read Soto's contract. 2027, he gets 47.5. 28 in 2029, he gets 51.87, 51,875,000. After the 2029 World Series, he may opt out. That's a $765 million contract. And Soto could opt out of it in 2029. What in the hell were they thinking? They signed this guy to a $765 million. Oh my god, that's funny.
Can we please contact Frank right now? If we find something for his contact info.
Oh my god. No, that's the funniest thing I've ever heard. That is Rodriguez level bad. Because that's what Alex
Yes.
Rodriguez did when he ended up getting, because he had the 10-year contract 3 separate times. People forget that. Rodriguez had one 10 years, $252 million with the Rangers in 2001. Then he signed another one in 2007. Then he dropped it out of that to sign a 10-year, $275 million contract with the Yankees. It's happened 3 times.
The only thing about Rafael Devers was he was being a punk with that situation where he didn't want to play first base. So that's how he got it traded. But still,
So
with Devers,
between the
that's
two of you, where would Soto go if he does opt out of that contract? This is 2.5 seasons in advance, by the way.
Yankees.
You think he'd go back to the Yankees after all that?
I think he misses them so much right now.
What about you, Jesse? Where do you think Soto goes if he opts out?
Probably to the Yankees to try again. More than likely.
Wow, I'm impressed. Both of you are willing to.
He's chasing a ring, if anything.
I honestly,
he already has a ring. He already has a ring, Jesse.
He does?
Technically, he has a ring in 2019.
With the Nationals.
Yes. Because he was on that team that year.
Yeah. But I think
he has a ring because he was 20. He got his first ring. I don't think he was World Series MVP. No. But he's only 27. When that contract opt-out comes out, he'll be 31 years old.
I think 31. It goes back. I think it goes back to the Yankees because he misses. I think he, with the beef going on right now with Lindor and everything else, I think he misses the Bronx because of the 1-2 punch of him and Aaron Judge. I think he really misses that right now. And the way the Mets team is this season, he better misses them so much right now. The Yankees, seriously.
Well,
I wouldn't blame him one bit if he goes back to the Yankees. With how things are going with the Mets right now.
My thing to the two of you is this. I hope we never see an $8 million contract. $800 million contract. And if we get close to $1 billion, just disband baseball. I'm sorry, but $1 billion, nobody, no one, no matter how good, deserves $1 billion.
Mm-hmm.
When I heard about the Mahomes, and I know I'm going to a different league here, but when I heard about Patrick Mahomes getting $500 million, that was insanity. Then finding out about Ohtani's $700 million contract, that was worse. Soto being worth $765 million, and then looking at his contract. So I have to go all the way down. He made $51.875 last season. He made $31 million with the Yankees at age 25, and he made the World Series. He made $23 million in his only season in San Diego. $17.1 million, $6.01 million paid by the Padres in 2022, and he made $8.5 million with the Nationals. He's only 27 and he's getting paid $51.8 million. His contract goes down next year to $47.5, 51.87, and then 51.87 again. So if he opts out after those 3 seasons,
You know what would be my second guess if he doesn't go to the Yankees? You know what my second guess
I'm
would be?
guessing the Dodgers.
Actually, I have two more guesses.
Okay.
This is my second guess will be the Braves.
Whew.
The Braves.
The third guess, it all depends on how the Nationals are going.
Wow. That one is not a bad one. Because I think the Braves would do it, but not for his
Nationals.
price tag. Because I'm sorry, but that price tag is just too much. Nobody wants to pay a man $50 million a year, let alone have to try and defer that money.
I'm not gonna say the Phillies because they already have Schwarber and all those guys, but
Well, Schwarber and Harper and all.
yeah, so that's not gonna happen with them. But I'm thinking if the Braves need another outfield arm, but
Good
I
God.
was no, that was my first second guess because I was like, oh, it would have been nice to see so back in DC, but it's just like, how are the Nationals going to look like by then? Because they already have their top prospects in the major leagues, I think already. So it's like,
So I did the math and I'm going to divide it by 5.
all right, and once we're done with that topic, we'll end it here.
So I just did the math. If Soto opts out in 2029, he'll have played with the Mets 5 seasons.
Yep.
Age 30 season, he goes into free agency. You want to know how much the Mets will have given him a season just for that? For if he plays 5 seasons with them. $51 million a year on average. If they get a full advantage of him. And think about how many times he's been traded twice, may I add. And he basically set the Nationals up for a good long time. But here's the guys who were involved in those trades. So the Nationals trade him with Josh Bell to the Padres. Josh Bell has bounced around more than a ball in a pinball machine. Because you know where he is now? He just lost to Juan Soto after being his teammate in San Diego. He's on Minnesota right now, DHing for the Twins. The trade was for Warlin Susanna, CJ Abrams, who is the starting shortstop for the Nationals, and he's off to a torrid start. So he's been great. Then you have Mackenzie Gore, who is in Texas now after that whole thing got started. Because I think that was a trade too. Yeah, that was for Yeremy Cabrera, Gavin Feen, Devin Fitzgerald. That is
Fitzgerald.
I find that so weird that they hyphenated. It's not Fitzgerald together like Larry Fitzgerald. It's Fitz hyphen Gerald. I'm getting sidetracked. Abimelec Ortiz and Alejandro Rosario. All those guys are in the minors. 5 minor league prospects. Luke Voigt, who is even the Robert Hassel III, who was one of those guys who ended up getting struck out by Monet Davis. And Hassel has even played this season. He's in the minors on their 40-man for the Nationals. So, and then James Wood, fantastic prospect. You want to know what his problem is?
What?
In 988 at bats, and this is not including today's game. And this is in his career, may I add. He's had 988 career bats. He struck out 354 times in 2.5 seasons of James Wood. That is an average of, let's see, 3.
I forgot he was on Nationals, James Wood.
Yep. Oh my god. Well, that'd be too high, wouldn't it?
I remember when he was on the Nationals, on the Nationals, but I forgot he got whatever.
So, well, he was traded to them. He struck out 221 times last year to lead the whole league. And that sadly is one of the top 10. He didn't touch Mark Reynolds' record, by the way. He was 2 strikeouts away from tying Mark Reynolds, who has the record. And that still hasn't been. He was the first one to come close since Adam Dunn did it. Because Adam Dunn 1 year struck out 222 times. But the record is 223 by one batter. For a pitcher, that'd be an average season now for strikeouts. But no, Soto has been traded for a lot of talent, but 51 million for 5 seasons of decent baseball if you're lucky. And you're already into season number 2 of that contract. So if he opts out, I think the Mets better get a haul for him or else, because I think this is going to hurt him more than anything else. They should not have signed Soto.
Yeah, I can see why the Yankees traded him now. But
yeah, it's more than that. But we're almost out of time. I'm sorry.
It's fine. But I'm going to say is, it would be nice to see one so back with the Nationals to end his career.
Yeah.
But that won't happen.
Bad, me and Jesse will be in our 40s and 50s.
Not yet. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. And see you all in a few weeks.